Hi, this is Gabriel Carini with Carini Heating, Air and Plumbing here in San Diego. And today I wanted to go over water filtration and water purification. Now, there are a few different ways that you can have water be tested, and I wanted to go over those options and let you know the realities of what you'll be experiencing. If you call a company to come out and do a water test, typically the only thing that you're going to be able to gather, the only information you're going to be able to gather is how hard your water is and its chlorine content. Those are good things to know because water gets treated heavily with chlorine. In fact, most municipalities, if you test water right out of the faucet, it's going to have just as much chlorine in it as your swimming pool. So that's kind of something that's going to, gain your interest. The other thing is hardness, okay? So we know, like in San Diego, it doesn't matter where you test your water, you have hard water. I don't have to test your water to tell you right now that you have hard water. The question is what else? What else is in our water? So some of the tests that I have here, we can identify the things that I spoke about previously. We have a test here that can identify what material is suspended in the water. We've got a test here that we can use to show you how far soap goes when you have soft water versus hard water. And then we have another test here that can identify the chlorine content of water, which again is good to know, but there's so many other things that we need to be worried about in our water outside of this. So what Carini has decided to do was we wanted to take testing a step further. Now what I would start with is have us come out, obviously do these tests, because this information is good to know. But what we've done is we've actually taken it a step further and we paired ourselves with a company that has a laboratory. And what we're doing now is we're coming out to people's homes. There is a fee associated, but I can tell you, it's worth it. We can take actual samples of your water and send it away to a laboratory. Now, when we do that, you'll see a list here of the contaminants that we're testing for. There are things like chromium hexavalent, uranium, arsenic. I mean, all of these products, we need to find out lead. We need to find out if it's in our water. And you can't do that with a test from a guy coming out doing a sales pitch on a water filtration system. You really have to take it a step further and get your water tested at a laboratory. So my recommendation is start here, and then we'll actually take a test, send it away to a laboratory, and within 5 days we'll get the results of what's in your water specifically. Then we can start talking about and have the conversation on how to protect your family. Okay, this is very, very important because what we're learning nowadays is that there's cancer cases that are starting to come up related to the water here in California. The damage that it's doing to your appliances and your water heater, you can only imagine the kind of damage that it's doing to your insides. And then also, your pocketbook. What people don't realize is they think, wow, it's such a big investment. Well, if you do the math, it's about a bottle of water a day would pay for a system that not only protects your family, but protects your appliances, extends the life of your appliances, gives you an endless supply of perfectly pH balanced reverse osmosis water. I mean, there are several advantages, and eventually you're going to get a return on that investment, especially if you're out buying bottled water for your family. If you're buying bottled water for your family, not only are you throwing money away, but you're also polluting our planet. We're covering our planet with plastic bottles that we know can't even be recycled anymore. And we've seen the results of this all over the world, and it's starting to become a huge problem. Our oceans are filled with plastics. So give us a call. Let's talk about how you can change that in your house, protect your family, protect the environment. This is really, really important to leave our world behind to our children in a better way than we got it. So appreciate your time and call Carini Heating, Air and Plumbing if you're interested in analyzing your water.